presence of the only man up here, Idanis Rodriguez, our council member for this district, who has been a committed supporter for the Bright March and the Dove Initiative, along with our Senator, Adriana Espaillat, who is here today sitting, and has been also a very committed member from the beginning of this initiative. Thank you. So now, we will
Well, as Idanis, since he represents the district, to say a few words. the silence of anger, of hurt, of pain, of violence, and opening up the doors of hope, of struggle, of survival, of safety, of love. Love should never hurt. If it hurts, it's not love. And so I am so delighted to be here and applaud all of our advocacy groups who do such incredible work across this city in honor of those women who we have lost. We walk together, we journey together, we stand together so that we can protect our women and their families. Those numbers that you heard, the women behind those numbers and their families whose lives will never be the same. We must continue to be active and committed to this process in combat against domestic violence. Just yesterday, in my county of the Bronx, there was a 21-year-old woman who was stabbed to death by her 26-year-old boyfriend. And he subsequently barricaded himself in his apartment in the Bronx River houses, and now he's in a mental psychiatric ward, and she was killed. So this affects us each and every day, let it be known. And so I am here as the chair of public safety, as a councilwoman representing the great borough of the Bronx, to stand with all of you and say that I support you. The Dove Initiative, we're not going to stop. Sexual assault against women, violence against women, we're going to continue to stand tall for justice so that no woman ever has to face her abuser. I thank all of you. I wish you great success and know that you have a supporter in me. Gracias, que Dios te bendiga. I appreciate it and thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Now I have the honor of introducing another strong woman who is the first African-American woman to hold citywide office, Leticia James. Tengo el placer de presentarle a otra mujer luchadora y muy fuerte, que es la primera mujer afroamericana de ocupar una posición en la ciudad que cubre la ciudad de Nueva York, Leticia James.
It's supposed to be the happiest day of your life. You're adorned in white. People are putting your hair, your toenails. You've got beautiful makeup. Your hair is perfect. It's not a day that we face violence. No one should have to hide behind sunglasses. No one should have to wear makeup to hide the bruises on your face. No one should have to hide behind closed doors in silence, all alone. Together, today is the day that we march in honor of the memories and the bravery of the countless women who stood courageously in the face of danger. Today we will hide no more. Today we will stand and march through the streets of New York City to protect women and protect their children and their families from their abusers. This march is an amazing tribute as we remember Gladys Ricard and the many victims of domestic violence who are not with us today but live on in our hearts, as well as the many survivors who are here. And we stand together committed today to say no more, no mas. Unlike other violent crime in New York City, rates of domestic violence will not drop solely by putting more cops on the streets. We must confront domestic violence as the public health emergency it is. We must work together to end the cycles of violence that have plagued our community, especially Latinas, who have a high rate of being a victim of domestic violence. You see, 1/3 of women are victims of homicide, killed in their hands of a current or former partner. In New York City, between 2022 and 2012, there were 789 family-related homicides of both women and men. 30% of women hospital visits are not due to a fall or an incidental fall. It's due to domestic violence and battery. 25% of homeless families, homeless heads of households, experience domestic violence, a major cause of them being homeless. And many immigrants suffer from domestic violence. And they have all of these barriers, and some of them face deportation. And so we must work together to stop the cycle of violence, with city outreach, and relevant education programs, and economic independence for march today. Si se puede.
Okay, our next speaker is someone whose 60th birthday is tomorrow, but he's celebrating it today, and he's the first elected official to contribute financially to the Brides March. Nuestra próxima persona que va a venir a hablarles es una persona que va a celebrar sus 60 años mañana. Digo, está de cumpleaños mañana y lo celebra hoy, y es el primer oficial electo en contribuir a la marcha de las novias contra la violencia doméstica. I now introduce you our State Senator, Adriano Espaillat.
Déjame decir, en la invitación de mi cumpleaños, el centro pusieron como que parece un circo así, de lado así, medio furbiado. I wanted to tell them that in my invitation, my birthday was 6 to 5. Anyway, I'm glad to be here.